That is nothing but generating voltmeter. So generating principle is used where direct loading or direct connection is to be avoided, like in the case of the Van de Graaff generators, etc. Or when the direct connections which is to be avoided. So this is nothing but generating voltmeter is in variable capacitor, electrostatic voltage generator. So it will generate the current which is proportional to the voltage under the measurement. So this arrangement provides loss-free measurement for the both AC as well as the DC. Means we can use it for both a DC as well as the AC voltage measurement. So it is driven by a synchronous motor so that it doesn't absorb the power from the voltage measuring source. Means the basic idea means the principle of the generating voltage voltmeter is to avoid a source loading. So that's why we are going with. So that's why we are going for an synchronous motor. So there are the two electrode, that is nothing but the high voltage electrode and the ground electrode. In fact, it is a constituted a capacitance, means one is subjected to the high and the low side. So there is a capacitance will exert between the two electrodes. So then coming to that, the principle of operation, the charge stored in the capacitor of the capacitance C, that is nothing but we know C, which is given by Q is equal to CV. That's the concept, simple concept. We know C is equal to Q by V. If the capacitance which is varies with respect to the time, that's nothing but the source voltage, the current through the capacitance, that is nothing but we can say the capacitance which is a function of the time, as the area A varies with respect to the time, and therefore there is a charge which is given. It's nothing but Q is equal to Ct. You can see to that this is the with respect to t, okay, time of the variation. Qt is equal to Ct into Vt. So for the DC, so we can write it as I is equal to dq by dt. So we are going to differentiation one terms to the another, V into dc by dt plus C into dV by dt. So for the DC voltage, we know that dV by dt is equal to 0, this term. So hence what will happens? I of t is equal to V into dc by dt. That's nothing but this is with respect to the time of the variation. If the capacitance, that is the C varies sinusoidally between the limits C0 and the maximum value, initial plus maximum value, then we can write it as total capacitance is equal to C is equal to C0 plus Cm into sin omega t, because we know that the maximum value of the capacitance which is respect to that sinusoidal function. You can see to that this is the a picture representation of the circuit diagram. So then what will happens, because of the capacitance variation, then the current I is given as I is equal to Im cos omega t, where Im is equal to V into Cm into omega. So if there is the RMS value, then what will happen? IRMS is equal to V into Cm into omega divided by root 2. So that we know. So here omega is nothing but the angular frequency of the variation of the capacitance. So generally what we'll do is the current is rectified and measured by a moving coil meter. So here the generating voltmeter, which can be used for AC as well as AC voltage measurement, also provided the angular frequency, that's something about omega, which is same or equal to the half that of the voltage being measured. So it doesn't mean that we can use it for only the DC, we can use it for the AC, but the thing is the angular frequency, that is the omega, is same or equal to that half that of the voltage being the measured. So this is the figure which we are showing of the generating voltmeter. Once again I will explain that, it is there in next one. Okay, so then what will happens, For asymmetric voltage, so if you are considering that it is in 0, so when the voltage is not symmetrical, one of the electrode is grounded. Okay, that's nothing but instantaneous value of the voltage of the current. You can write it as I of t is equal to C omega I. Okay, so this is the schematic diagram of a generating voltmeter, which is employs the vanes for the variation of the capacitance. You can see to that here. So high voltage electrode, this you can see here S3, this is nothing but S3, S0, S1 and the S2. So S3, which is kept at a fixed distance on the axis of the other low voltage electrode compared to that S2, S1 and the S0 value. So the generating voltmeter employing sectors or vanes for the variation of the capacitance, which is shown in the schematic diagram. The high voltage source is connected to a disk of electrode S3, which is kept at a fixed distance on the axis of the low voltage electrode S0, S1 and the S2. The S0 is driven at a suitable constant speed by the synchronous motor at a speed of 1800, 1500, 3000, 3600 rpm. The rotor vanes S0 will cause periodic change in the capacitance between the insulated disc S2 and the high voltage electrode S3. Means that, so this is act like an isolation, so which is rotating at a constant speed. S3 is at a fixed one and S2 is at a low voltage. So because of the variation across the S0 value, there is a capacitance will exert between S3 and the S2 value. The shape and the number of the vanes of S0 and the S1 are designed in such a manner that the variation of the capacitance will be in the formation of sinusoidal. So this is what, and the current is rectified and is measured by a moving coil meter, because some amplification which is required across the R value before it is measured, because what is the value of the current which you are getting is very less, so sometimes we may need of the amplification. The sensitivity can be increased by the increase in the area of the pickup electrode and by using an amplifier circuit. So the instrument is calibrated using the potential divider or the spear gap, because we need to make sure that what is the value which you are going to measure, it should be within the range and should be accurate. The meter is linear and its range can be extended by a extrapolation. So these are the calibrated curve for the generating voltmeter, which you can see to that rotating cylinder type and rotating vanes type. By variation of these values, so we will get the voltage with respect to the current. Means we are measuring the voltage in terms of a current, okay, because we know that Q is equal to C by V. So by variation of any change in the charge, we can able to measure the voltage in terms of the current. So this is the working principle and how actually we are going to measure the voltage in terms of the current. So these are the different type of the electrodes, means the vanes of S3, S0, S1 and the S2. Again, these will changes depending upon the manufacturers. Then coming to the advantages and the limitations. So first advantage is no source loading by the meter, means we are not connecting directly to the source. There is a complete isolation between a source and the meter. So this is one of the greater advantages, like in the case of anti-gravity generators. So we need to measure the high voltage. So this is one of the advantages. Then no direct connection to the high voltage electrode. So this is one of the next advantages. Then scale is linear and extension of range is easily can be done. So means we can able to extend it depending upon the voltage which you are going to measure. And next one, a very convenient instrument for electrostatic devices such as Van de Graaff generator and particle accelerators. So this means this is the application where we can use the generating voltmeter. So these are the advantages of the generating voltmeter. Next we have the limitation, the required calibration, because sometimes there is a small change in the values, so it will lead to that there is a large output there is a change in the output. So we need to be very careful while handling the device. Then careful construction is needed and is cumbersome instruments requiring an auxiliary drive. Means we need to drive the vanes like S0 value at a constant speed. So we need an additional source. So this is the one of the limitation. Then disturbance in position and mounting of the electrode make the calibration easy and monitor. That's what, if there is a small change in the value of the electrode or the vanes, there is an output will get changes. So these are the advantages and the limitations of generating voltmeter. So we have discussed that. So series micrometer method, then potential dividers, then the generating voltmeters.